This is a true story. 5 workers were dismantling an underwater oil pipe. The pipe was sealed, and the water pressure around it was huge. The moment they unscrewed the pipe, it sucked everything nearby inside. The workers were dragged into the pipe by the strong suction. It was dark and terrifying, and the ordeal lasted over a minute. When the suction finally stopped, they found themselves in a slightly raised part of the pipe where some air had gathered. They checked each other. All 5 were hurt, scratches and bruises everywhere. One worker had a broken leg and was unconscious. Their oxygen tanks were gone, and the narrow pipe had very little air left. They realized they couldn't wait for help. They had to save themselves. They debated how to escape. One thought they had gone in head first, so they should back out. But the others believed they had entered feet first, so crawling forward was the best way. The group decided to move forward. In the pitch-black pipe, they worked as a team. They crawled like a centipede, pushing their injured teammate ahead. Along the way, they found 2 oxygen tanks that had been sucked in with them. But the situation grew worse. The pipe ahead was underwater, and they didn't know how long it was. They had only 2 tanks, and the injured teammate couldn't swim. Chris, the second in line, volunteered to try to make it out alone. He promised to send help if he made it. Everyone agreed. It was their only hope. Chris crawled forward, unsure if he was heading the right way. Exhausted and scared, he found another small air pocket and rested briefly. Then he pushed forward again, but the underwater pipe seemed endless, and his oxygen was running low. He felt despair creeping in. Suddenly, he heard a metallic clang ahead. It gave him hope. With the last of his strength, he pushed forward and found another oxygen tank. It was damaged, but he used it anyway, enduring the foul taste of oil. After more agonizing minutes, Chris reached the pipe's end. He swam upward, praying it wasn't sealed. Breaking the surface, he saw light. He shouted for help, and a colleague on the ship spotted him. Chris was rescued and rushed to the ICU. Once he recovered enough to speak, Chris begged the oil company to save the others, but they refused, saying the workers had no chance of survival. Chris was furious. Divers later heard knocking from inside the pipe, proving they were alive, but the company still wouldn't act. Days passed. On the 5th day, the knocking stopped. All 4 workers were gone. Heartbroken and angry, Chris took the company to court. He wanted justice for his teammates and to expose the truth. This story is about courage, teamwork, and the fight for justice against those who value profit over human lives.